Well, greetings, BUS20 students. This is Mr. Doucette, and this is Mathematics here at Norco College, Fall 2026. And I just wanted to do a quick video to introduce myself, as well as to just give you an overview of the course and to show you how to log into Canvas if you've never done that. So this is the first day of class. It is August 24th, 2026. This is the first class of the fall semester, and you'll be getting this video within a welcome email, just kind of describing the course as well and letting you know how to log in as well. So anyway, what I'd like to do is first introduce myself. So again, my name is Eric Doucette. I've been teaching at Norco College since 2016. I'm full-time at Norco College as the business faculty. There's 6 of us in the business department, and I am one of those 6. I teach all of the business, general business, business mathematics, business communication, and marketing. That's kind of my areas of expertise. Um, I've been uh, I've been involved in, again, teaching since 2016. Prior to that, I have a career in ministry. I was a pastor at Harvest for 20 years or 10 years, and then been on my own for over 20. So you can read about that in my biography if you'd like online. It kind of gives you a little bit of my background. As far as logging into our class, that's the next important thing I want to cover, and that is you need to go to the Norco College website, and then from there you're going to go to Canvas, and then once you're logged into Canvas, you'll see our course there hosted in Canvas. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to share my screen, which is the Norco College website. So here we are on that. I'm going to come up here to the corner and I'm going to go to quick links and I'm going to select Canvas right here. So quick links, Canvas, and then it's going to ask you to log in. Now, mine's already set up. I actually logged out and it did not make me re-log in. So let me try again. I'm going to log out. I'm going to go back to the Norco College website and then I'm going to select quick links, Canvas, and now it should make me log in. Okay, it does. So in your case, what it's going to do for you is it's going to ask you to put in your username, which is going to be your email address, and that's going to ask you to put in your password, which is your, I believe it's your birth date. But there'll be instructions in when you log in if you've never logged in before, exactly what credentials you're supposed to put in. But if you already registered your email, then you're already registered with Canvas. You just need to put that information in. Mine does it all automatic, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. But I did want to bring you all the way out. And so then there is an authenticator app, which I always tend to skip, but it's a double verification. So I just have it send me a code to my phone and therefore I'm able to log in. So now it's going to bring me to my Canvas dashboard. This is where all of the courses that you're taking will be present. There may be some other folders as well for different services that we have to offer. So these are the 3 classes that are starting today at Norco College. So this is Business 20. That's the class that you're in. So I'm going to select that. And that brings you to our course homepage in Canvas. So this is basically the class right here. This is your classroom. This is where you'll be doing most all of your work. And so if you notice, there's a little navigation table on the front page here that gives you access to everything. So here are the 4 modules. So this class is a 16-week class with every 3 to 4 weeks being one module. So this is the first 3 weeks, this is the next 4 weeks, this is the next 3 weeks, etc., all the way through till the end of the class. So whatever the dates are, that's where we'll be working. So for instance, today's 8/24, so we're all going to be in module number 1. Obviously, that'll end on 9/20. And then there's other buttons here. You have the syllabus. So this is the latest and greatest syllabus. If anything changes, I always update it and have it right here. You can download it, you can view it online, whichever is your preference. Here's a link to the textbook. So if you select that, it'll bring you to another folder where you can select the textbook and then you can register. There is an ebook attached to the class. It costs about 60 bucks to access it. It's probably the cheapest and easiest option, but you will need the textbook because not only am I going to be doing instructional videos and not only is there a study page, but there is recommended areas in the textbook for you to read and to review, and you don't need to review all of them. So I highly, highly encourage that you get a textbook. You can also just order a older version if you want. It pretty much has all the same information. You can get it from Chegg or you can buy it online, Amazon. But whatever, you do need to have a textbook, but you don't need access. Nothing is done anywhere but in Canvas. You just need a book to be able to refer to. So don't pay for any access codes. Don't pay for the book and an access code because you're not going to need it. Then there's a help button right here. So if you need help at any time, my information, contact information is there. It's also an open forum where you can discuss things with other students. There's also the help desk number as well as Canvas number and email. So you can get a hold of them if you have any issues, but any kind of help you need, you can select that. Here is my office hours. I do have office hours at Norco College. So usually Monday at 4 to 6, I have office hours, Wednesday from 10 to noon. And then I have those are in my office on ATech Building 105 on campus. Then I have virtual office hours on Thursday. I think it's 11 to 1, I think is the time I put. So anyway, those are options that you have to meet with me if you need to. I also will be doing a Zoom session for this class every week. And I'm just going to go over problems for that week's content, and I'll be recording it. Unless nobody shows up, then I'll use an old video. But if you show up, I'll be able to answer questions and cover any information that you might need. So that's the table on the home page. Also, there's a link here to the School of Business and Management, also to our special accreditation that we have as a business school, if you want to look at those. But what you really want to do is get started here at the Start Here button. So I'm going to select that, and that's going to bring you to a welcome page. And the welcome page is basically describing the course, my communication policy, where you can get the textbook. Again, you can click this link and register, how to navigate using a phone or a tablet, and then getting started is what you want to focus on. So you definitely want to read the syllabus and review it, make sure you understand everything that's required. There is a SLO pretest to kind of see what you know already about business math. So don't worry about doing well, just do the best you can based off of what you already know. Again, if you've not done so, you can also link the textbook here. Here's Amazon, the book on Amazon as well as at the Norco bookstore. And then once you've done those three things, there is a check-in assignment you'll need to do, but you can go ahead and get started by going to Module 1, or better yet, come down here to the Next button, and this will bring you to the fall schedule. So I would just, if I were you, I would read the syllabus, I would take the pretest, register for the textbook, and then I would come down here and click Next. That's going to bring you to the fall schedule. So it kind of shows you what we'll be doing each week, what is due each week, etc. So that's the schedule. You can look at the whole 16 weeks in advance. Then if you want to, you can click next and it'll come to my bio. So this kind of describes what I've been involved with over the past 30 years of my life. Then there's the fall syllabus again. You already had access to this on the home page, but you can also view it here by selecting the syllabus button. Then it gets into the textbook. So again, your textbook, you can register for it. This is what we'll be studying if you want to buy a hard copy. Again, every one of these links brings you to the same place, which is the ability to access the textbook. And so you can read it, you can register for it. Then I have my communication and monitoring plan on the next page. If you click next, then I have my AI policy, which I do have an AI policy. You can read that. Then there's a button to the Norco College Student Services. So if you need anything at all, you can access those services. All the links and everything are here. One of the other faculty members built this wonderful table. Then there's a section here on how to succeed in the course. It's just generic information about being successful. Then there's a whole academic and etiquette policy that you want to read that we have as a college and as a class, and read through that. Then there's some stuff here, I believe, on Canvas next. Let's see what comes up. Oh no, it's a discussion forum. So if you have any questions for me, you can come to this discussion forum. You can just click reply at the bottom down here, and you can ask me any questions you want. I'll be monitoring that every few days. There's also a student-to-student discussion. So if you want to ask questions of other students or get to know them, you can certainly do the same thing. Click reply and ask questions, interact with one another. Then there are some Canvas pages. If you click through all of these, if you don't know much about Canvas, you might want to review some of this information. But you can continue to click next until you get to our first assignment, which is going to be a check-in assignment, an initial check-in assignment. So I'm going to keep going forward through these items, and I would encourage you to read all of them. and that's going to then bring you to the mandatory check-in participation assignment. This is the first assignment that you must complete. You must do so to stay in the course. And so it's basically at the end of the first module. If you click the modules button over here, I'll show you that in a second. Or it's it's at the end of the first module, or just go to the first, sorry, it's the end of the welcome module right above the first module. So I'll show you that in a second. But complete this assignment. Just click reply, answer the questions, and then comment on other students as well. And that's going to be something you need to do in order to stay in the class. It's kind of your way of checking in. Then you can click next, or I'm just going to bring you back to here's the pretest I mentioned earlier. So yeah, go ahead and take that and then click next. And that's going to bring you into the week number 1. So another way you can get there is just click home and then select module number 1. And that's going to bring you to the same place. So here's module number 1. Now, again, if I just back up a little bit, here's the check-in assignment and here's the pretest. So those need to be done right away by the first Sunday of the class. And then you can get started into module number 1. Now, the way that I've designed every module or every week for every module is you have a read first section, and you must read these and then mark them as done. At the bottom of each one of the pages here, there's a mark as done button, or at the top. It depends on, I think, which browser you use. But either way, you're going to click that mark as done. If you do not click that, it will not open up any of the assignments for you. So you must read through every week, all 3 of these, my overview, Meet Sienna, and then Help Sienna. And then once you've read through those and marked them as done, it will open up all of these assignments down here. So actually, you also need to go through the study pages and mark them as done as well. So how I laid the class out is it's built around a woman named Sienna who owns a health and fitness store. And so everything we do in the class is kind of based around her business. So all of the problems, for the most part, are related to her business. So you're helping her solve problems. And so you're going to meet Sienna in this week, and then you're going to help Sienna. And each week you'll have a read me first and a help Sienna. And so you need to read that, mark them as done, and then that'll open up your access to the coursework. You also have a study section, and this is where I'm showing you exactly in the textbook where you need to review. On each of these study pages, there is the PowerPoint slides that give you some additional help. There's some teaching videos from me going over some of the concepts that you'll be doing this week, as well as some YouTube videos. So you can go onto the study page, you can dive in, you can get your textbook out, you can begin to really prepare yourself for the quiz and all the coursework that's coming up. And so this first week, you have 2 chapters that you're going to be doing. So make sure you read and review both of those study pages. These 2 items are not going to be visible to you. It was something else I'm working on. Then you have your first quiz. So once you've done your study pages, you feel confident about your work, go ahead and do your quiz. You can take the quiz up to 3 times. It'll keep your best score. And by the way, many of the quizzes have fill-in questions. They're not multiple choice, so you have to actually do the work, show your work, and then I'll give you partial credit if you don't get it right, even if you do, as long as you're doing it correctly for the most part, as long as you show your work. You have a check-in assignment as well. The check-in assignment is basically helping you help Sienna solve some problems. So it's basically a worksheet you'll download, you'll complete, and then you'll go online and actually complete the check-in assignment. So make sure you first download the worksheet, and then you're going to come here and you're going to basically click at the bottom down here, reply, and you're going to reply to those problems. So, and you also need to upload your worksheet, not the first week, but starting week number 2. So let me go back here to modules number 1, and so then you're also going to have week number 1 a case study. Now you have 2 weeks to do this case study, so it's basically helping Sienna choose a bank. It's a scenario in which you're kind of reviewing the different bank options and their fees, and you're telling me which one you think she should go with based off of costs and benefits. So this is this week's work. And every week will be very similar. You'll have a read me first, a help Sienna, you'll have a study page, and then you'll have coursework, which will usually consist of a check-in assignment and a quiz. And the check-in assignment, again, is a worksheet you download. It's not that way the first week, but starting the second week it is, and then you need to re-upload it as well as filling out. It's like a quiz, so you need to fill out the answers, and your worksheet helps you prepare. Then you go in and you actually select the answers that you got, and then you upload your document. So that's pretty much it for week number one and for a welcome video. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I know this video was a little long. I wanted to make sure it was thorough. And if you need closed captioning, I just recorded it this morning, so it's probably not going to be ready for captioning until later today. It will be auto-generated captioning, but I will go in and repair that once it uploads the captions. So that's it for now. Have a great first week, and you will see me all on video again next week.